Hello everyone, let me just adjust here. Welcome to the first vlog from Hangzhou. Um, in this, I apologize for the great, not great lighting. It is nighttime. Right now the days are really hot, and so sitting next to a window on a hot day is kind of rough. I just moved to Hangzhou. I'm going to talk a little bit about the move, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means for Sweetest Dew and some of the challenges I'm facing, and how I'm going to kind of use this as an opportunity. The way I'm looking at it now is generally one step backwards, two step forwards. So in the short term, it's going to be a little bit rough, a little bit some challenges, but I think in the long term, over the next 2 years especially, at the end of the next year to 2 years, Sweetest Dew should be a very much more functional company, and just a better company as a whole. You know, not so much on the teas, but the user experience and all of that. So, I moved to Hangzhou through everything in a Huolala, which is a rented van and a rented truck. So the Huolala, you know, it's a rental company, and I like to use it because you can ride with them. So I like to put my dogs in the van. They have AC, and I ride with them, and it's cheaper than other moving companies. And honestly, when it comes to dog, it's safer. You know, I've heard a lot of horror stories about. There are pet moving companies, but I've heard a lot of horror stories. So I'm just like, oh, just avoid that and ride with them. But so these moving companies, you have to pay them extra for them to load and unload. You know. And so I don't pay them extra, and so I had to load all this shit in the truck myself, and they just sat there and watched, and then I had to unload it all myself, and they just sat there and watched. I have to say though, the trip from Fuding to Hangzhou was pretty quick. Went by pretty fast. I never really felt too bored, or never felt too, it went pretty quick. And so here I am. I am in an apartment now, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Haven't started working yet, so I've had time to kind of adjust, settle, find the shops, meet some friends. And that's been good. I've met some friends already, which is nice. One of my big reasons for coming to Hangzhou was to have more of a social life, and already I do. Within the first week, I've met a few friends, went on for a running club, had dinner with someone. It's wonderful. So, let's talk about some challenges. But the move to Hangzhou does bring challenges, so let's talk about those. First challenge is I've had to unpack everything, and I've had to look for stuff, and I didn't know where shit was for the first few days. And that was fun. But I think now I'm kind of finding everything. The apartment, I'm living in an apartment now, and it is smaller. Obviously it's an apartment, not a house. And so this has an interesting problem that I have to figure out when it comes to product photos. I've always struggled with product photos, and product photos are tricky. But I think kind of at the end of the time in Zhejiang, I was kind of figuring something out, and I was getting kind of a style. I had a background and some splash. It was going in a good direction. Don't have that anymore. You know, I took some product photos today actually against this wall, and it was okay, but not great. So it might mean me going outside of my apartment to take product photos, but it also might mean maybe some camera equipment, some lighting, some background stuff. So we'll see about that. I know other companies do a pretty good job with just a white background. Bitter Leaf comes to mind. They do pretty good with a good just kind of white background, I think. So we'll see about that. That's the first problem. Another initial problem, the move is expensive. I had to, it's an expensive move, and I'm not getting paid for at least a month. I'm getting a little bit of money at the end in August. Summer, a half pay for my last job, which is only about a little more than 1,000. So good to kind of get me through the month. But but tricky, you know, because you're moving and you have to buy things, and you don't know where the cheap stuff is yet. Like, where do I buy cheap food? And especially Hangzhou. And like I said, I'm meeting people for dinner, and that costs money. So yeah, that's a bit of a challenge. But there's a little bit of good news for you guys. One of the ways I'm going to kind of fix that, or one of the ways I'm going to help that, is I am going to bring back store credit. I'm going to let you guys buy some store credit, which is good for me. Just gives me a little bit of money to be liquid. Gives you guys a little bit of store credit so you can go in and buy stuff the next few months. Because really, I think once I get this money, I'm going to hit the ground running, go to Wuishan, go back to Fuding, go to Fu'an. I think I need to go to Fu'an. I never went to Fu'an, never went to Taimushan. So really going to hit the ground running. Anxi is going to be in October, and that's going to be awesome. So a lot of good stuff is going to be coming. So it'd be great for you guys to get some store credit ahead of that. Other thing I want to talk about, and I wish I had another cup. I wish I had the other cup in my reach, but I don't. I'm adding some tea wares. So you guys know that Grandpa Style kind of became a very important part, not an important part of Sweetest Dew. That's a weird. Because it became a main way that I drink tea. Obviously, what I put on Sweetest Dew is very much a reflection of me, of the teas I'm looking for, the teas I'm drinking, what I'm thinking about. So me drinking Grandpa Style, obviously I had to put that on the website, because I do think it's a very underrated but underappreciated way of drinking tea. You know, everyone does gong fu cha and their teapots, and that's great. Love it, still do it. But Grandpa Style, man, that is a lifestyle. That's a lifestyle. And now that I'm back in the green tea region, I look forward to. And yeah, so in Zheolong, I kind of looked through. I was kind of playing with some teaware, and I was kind of seeing what was selling and what wasn't. I got maybe a few too many options, or I don't know. But what I had the idea to do is I got the opportunity to work with the glass factory. So right now we have this on the website, and this is very similar to what was on the website already. But now there's no top. This glass factory doesn't make a top. But now that I'm working with the glass factory, I'm able to drop the price. It went from $10. It went from $15, and now it's $10. So nice price. The other one, and I wish I had it in hand, but it's a double-walled glass. So there's like a glass and then a space, and then there's like a second glass around it. And this is great for hot beverages, but any really hot and cold beverages, but especially hot. It's meant for hot beverages because you don't touch the cup. You know, there's that glass, and that's what's hot, but then there's a gap, and then there's the glass you touch. So hot beverages, you don't feel the heat as much. So that's great for Grandpa Style. So that's on the website. That's also from the glass factory. That's $10. Yeah, $10 too. With these two, though, I am going to take away the Grandpa Style cup that's on the website now, the little glass one that really got everyone really. You guys really liked it, but I'm going to see if I can get the glass factory on that one too, because I like it too, but I think I can get a better price. I will be honest, if I do get a better price, the price on the website will be the same though. The markup on that really isn't big. And that's one of the reasons I'm cutting it. It's a very small markup, you know. And so I think I would like to. I like it. It's small. It's easy. Has a nice cap. But yeah, I need to find a way to get a little more margins in there. So that's coming. So because of the not so liquid funds though, tea sourcing is going to be a little slow for up through probably the month of September, and so that means we're going to pause the next subscription. I played with some ideas. I kind of looked at some stuff, but I was like, you know what? Everything kind of just felt half-assed or just a little bit short. And so I said, okay, let me just cut it. I'll just cut it. Make it simple. Cut it. And then October, we'll go back into it. October is probably going to be a Tea Kuan Yin, maybe some Wu Shan. I want to get to Wu Shan. I'm definitely going to do Tea Kuan Yin because the beginning of October is the autumn season. So get some fresh Tea Kuan Yins. I'm still seeing, right now, the Tea Kuan Yins on the website. I'm kind of feeling the vibe check on if you guys like that. If I'm getting a lot of positive reviews from those Tea Kuan Yins on the website, I'll continue working with that family. Or I'll work a little bit deeper with that family. Otherwise, or maybe I might work a little bit deeper with that family, but I'm also going to kind of start looking at other producers. Or looking for other producers. You know, Anchi is a very, very tricky market to search through. So we'll see about that. So that's coming. So yeah, so teas are going to be paused a little bit, but once the teas get going, once again, one step back, two steps forward, it's going to be a lot of great options, a lot of great teas, more diverse teas. Still going to look for white teas, but now Yensha's Long Jing is going to be a cool one. What was I just talking about? Anchi Tea Kuan Yin. Huangshan, can go back to easier to go to Huangshan from here. A lot of great options. Something else that's going to be, that I'm working on now actually, is the website. The website has always been a little rough around the edges, and there's a lot to fix, and I know it needs to be fixed, and it's a lot of just consistency. What has happened is I've been doing it a way, and then somebody suggested something, or I had an idea, and I started doing it that way, but now I need to like go back and make sure that everything's consistent, you know. So somebody was like, hey, you should just have a little thing, like a little just information, cultivar, maker, mountain, blah, 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 you know, every tea, cultivar, maker, mountain, I forget the last one, other notes, you know. Cultivar, Maker, Mountain, put that in every tea, and I was like, that's a good idea. I'm changing the way the sizes are listed, so it's less about how many grams, and it's more about how many of the servings, how many of these little packets. I think that's just much more clear, and I can make things more consistent. And product photos, you know, like I mentioned, product photos are a little bit tricky now, but definitely something I'm thinking about. Yeah, oh, last thing, we're going pretty fast. This is coming. So, during the tea season, I packed up thousands of these little bags, but as I was packing them up, I would inevitably drop one, or one would get pushed to the side, and I wouldn't know what it was until it was way later, and I wouldn't see it until way later, and then when I found it, I didn't know what it was. So I took all these mystery bags, put them in a box, and then put all those mystery bags into boxes like this. And so each of these, so this is basically a double blind mystery box. 6 teas in there. I don't even know what it is. I did once or twice throw in some samples I got from Maker, so there are some teas that are all labeled, but for the most part, completely unlabeled, complete mystery box, double blind. I don't know what's in there. It's going to be from this season, 2026, but besides that, could be a green, could be a white, could be a red. So that's going to be fun. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with that. $15. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that's it. I actually went through that pretty quick. 14 minutes so far. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Oh, and speaking of teas, what am I drinking here? This here is a red tea that I should have put on their website so fucking long ago. It's a 2025 Jinmudan with just so much texture, Mostacino cherry flavors, and affordable. $10 an ounce. Great for $10 an ounce. Fucking wonderful. I could double this price and still be happy. Like, that's like quality wise, $10 an ounce. It's a fucking steal. Clean texture, Moschino cherries. Flavors are a little bit basic. You know, it's not too complex, but fucking great. Would go awesome in a Yixing. If you have a red tea Yixing, it's asking for this. It's asking for this. Yeah, that's really good. It's really, really nice. It's kind of like Yancha-y. Yancha lovers are going to like this tea a lot. Yeah, it's good. All right, so that's that. You know, like I said, it's the next few months. There's going to be a lot of website updates. Not a lot of new teas, but some new tea wear. Another cool thing now that I'm in Hangzhou is I can just slip over to Jing which would be awesome. I also can't travel until I find somewhere to put the dogs, but that shouldn't be too hard. It's Hangzhou. It should be somewhere. Yeah, it's going to be really, really good. It's going to be really good. All right, well, that's that. I don't know how busy this next week is going to be, but if it is busy, I'll update you again next week. All right, guys. I appreciate all of you. Bye.